All right, everyone. It's October 7th, 2025, and it's 11:01 a.m. and my MCAT score just got released, so I'm really nervous. Not sure what to expect, but hopefully everything goes well. Just hoping for the best. I'm also wearing my lucky 520 shoes here, so all right, so without further ado, I'm gonna be clicking on view scores and see what I get. Let's go. Oh my god. Wow. I'm so happy right now. 132, 129, 130, 131. Wow. I am just, wow. Oh my god. 99th percentile score, guys. 99th percentile. Wow. That's a good score. Yeah, they weren't joking about this FL average thing. Actually, my last 4 exams before taking the MCAT, the average was exactly 522. So I'm not too surprised about that. And this is a score breakdown that is very typical of me. I get very consistent 132s on Chem Phys. I'm just my favorite section. Cars, it's also very consistent at 129. I think luckily I got 130 on FL4, but that was just again, just a fluke, I think. So that's again, very normal for me. Bio felt really hard, and I usually do only get 130s. Again, very expected. And Psych Soc, I think I got a 132 on FL5, but that was the only time I got 132s, and usually I'm at a 131. So again, this is extremely typical of me. This is just zero surprise, I'm super happy, but zero surprise, yeah, they aren't joking when they say trust your FLs. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll apply with this score. I don't have to take it again. And it's relatively balanced, and that's what I'm happy with. It's not like I got 132s on all the sciences and then got if you do the math, a 126 or something on cars. So I'm happy that it's relatively balanced. And of course, it would have been nice to get a 130 on cars just to get all 130s. But again, I'm stoked. This is pretty much exactly what I was expecting. Wow. Wow. Okay. Well then, that's a 520 to 524 confidence band, which is pretty solid. That means that I'm it's confident that it's 520 plus, so that's good. Of course, it would have been nice to get a 100th percentile score, yada yada, but it's just so hard to predict what you're going to get on the test day. And I felt like I literally bombed it after taking the test. I was I am not even going to get 520 plus, I was seriously predicting 518, 519 or something. So this is I'm still very happy. And 522 is I would say enough for the vast majority of med schools, except maybe T5. NYU would be pretty unhappy with a 522, but I'm pretty sure every other school in the nation is happy with a 522. And I have a 4.0 GPA from a T25 liberal arts college. So again, stats wise, not too bad. I just have to focus on my clinical volunteering and essays, yada yada. So I'll be applying in the 2026 to 2027 cycle. So got to get started on that. But I'm stoked. I'm absolutely stoked. This is a good score. yeah, I mean, like in terms of like how I prepared, I spent like 3.5 months. Again, this is a very numbed down version, but I spent 3.5 months over the summer full time, basically 7 days a week, and I started with a diagnostic of 508, which I think was pretty inflated. I really think I started closer to like a 505 or 504 or something like that. I think it was just a very inflated. I'll show you actually 1 second on my MCAT spreadsheet right here. Right here, yes. So like if you see this, I guess we could put 522 here. Let me just insert that right now. 130 and then 131. So, oh, I just noticed something. I didn't get the same score in 2 sections. That's interesting. Okay, but anyway, as you can see in this graph right here that I made, I started at like, again, a 508, but that's like hyperinflated, I would say, because I did like 1 month of content review and only got to a 509. So that just seems a little fishy, especially with cars. Cars was a hyperinflated for that for some weird reason. BP is not the most accurate. And the BP FLs are just also very deflated. And then unscored for double AMC is also extremely inflated for cars specifically. Like I got a 130 on that, and I never got 130 after that except FL4. So yeah, I would take unscored with a grain of salt. FL1, I just bombed it for some reason. I don't know why, but I think that jump, you might be wondering, how did I go from 514 to 520 and never go below 520? That was mainly due to the section banks. I think the section banks from the double AMC were the most useful thing that I did. So in terms of like an overall view of what I got and what I did, so again, 3.5 months. The first month and a half or so was just content review. So what I did was first watch Yusuf A. Hassan. He's a great YouTuber. He's a med student currently, I believe. And he got a 521. And so he is just a legend. I mean, he got 132s on both the hard science sections, and he's just an absolute legend. So I've just heard so many great things about him. So I decided to watch his lecture series on YouTube. And he's just, yeah, he explains things really well. So I would suggest listening to his videos first and then skimming the Kaplan chapters. Don't read them word for word. You don't have time for that. Content review is really not, like, what I'm trying to say is that you won't remember every single word of Kaplan, no matter how many times you read it, right? So it's like, it's kind of useless to go that much in depth. So I would, again, watch Yusuf's videos on YouTube, then do a very brief Kaplan skim, and then go directly to the Anki Hub Anking deck. It's on Anki Hub. So it's it's basically based on Mile Down, but it also has Panko folded into it, and it just has so many updates, and it's infinitely updatable. Actually, it's like a whole community of people updating it every single day, and it's just like, I would say, the most accurate of all the decks, and just it's not too short, it's not too long, it's like perfectly comprehensive for the MCAT. And I can assure you that all the 6 points I got off were not due to content issues. They were due to me not knowing how to read properly. So especially cars. But so what I'm trying to say is that, like, if you just want to know all the content for the MCAT, Yusuf, Kaplan, plus Unking, the Unking deck, it's around 6,300 flashcards or so. That's more than enough. So I would suggest doing that. And then in terms of cars prep, I'm not the best, right? I didn't even get a 130. But cars, it's a really tough section. As you can see in this yellow right here, I really struggled with it. Like, I was getting FL1, I got 126, like, you know, and that was just like devastating, you know. So I actually, like, during the last month, I was like like, should I just stop studying science and should I just like go crazy with cars or something, like practice 8 hours a day or something? And glad I didn't do that. But it's like, it's really, really tough. What I would suggest is watch LSAT Lab on YouTube. As you can tell, I like videos. I like learning by videos, but LSAT Lab. So the MCAT car section is surprisingly similar to the LSAT. So I would suggest watching that video series. It's called the Reading Comprehension playlist, and it doesn't take too long. Just watch it, and you'll just kind of like start to absorb what you really need to understand for reading comprehension. And then after that, I would say practice timing with Jack Weston. He has great daily passages that you should use. I didn't do too many of them, maybe like 30 or 40 or 50, I don't know. I didn't count, but like I didn't do them like every day or anything. I just did some. Like I really just did not do that much cars practice. But in terms of timing, I got like 13 minutes I was taking for like the first few FLs. And then after that, I was like, because I used Jack Weston, I was able to get it down to like 9 minutes or so per passage. And after that, I did, for cars, I did the cars diagnostic tool, which was kind of helpful. I didn't really review it too much, but I did them. And I also did cars QPAC 2. I skipped cars QPAC 1 because I heard of this like crazy Picasso passage, and I was like, I don't want that to, mess with my head. So I would suggest doing all the practice, I mean, again, I'm not the best at cars, so take that with a grain of salt. And so, for PS, for Psych Soc, Yusuf doesn't have videos for that. So what I would suggest is watch all the Khan Academy videos for Psych Soc. And then again, PanCal is folded into King, so it's all good. So that's for Psych Soc. And then in terms of UWorld, I would highly suggest UWorld. I spent around a month or so, month and a half, I guess, something like that, doing UWorld questions. There are approximately 3,000 questions there, which is a lot. And like even people like that took it a few years ago are like, they had far fewer questions, right? Because they add questions all the time. So like in terms of like, they were saying like, oh, I finished UWorld in 1 month, and it was easy like to finish it. But it's not that easy anymore to completely finish it, just because there's just so much. So I would suggest, especially for the hard sciences, right? For Psych Soc, it's like, for cars, I didn't even use it at all. So especially for the hard sciences, especially chemistry, physics, and biology, those kind of topics, I would highly suggest using UWorld. And but I wouldn't say it's completely mandatory. Like people are like you need to use UWorld if you want to get 520 plus. I don't know about that. Like it was helpful for sure, but like I don't know. Like see here, like I was using UWorld a lot during this time, and I wasn't even getting it to the 520 range. And right when I used section banks, then I started getting 520 plus. So like I really think that the AAMC materials are like the best. Like, I mean, people say that a lot, but I think that's still like cannot be emphasized enough. It really cannot. It's just they're like perfect. They're done by the test makers themselves, especially if you struggle more with style and reading rather than content like me. Definitely do all the AAMC questions without a doubt. Like that's why I did UWorld, and I was like maybe 75% complete, and I could have just kept going. I could have just like kept like saying like, oh, I'll just spend a few more weeks doing UWorld, but I just decided like, okay, I'm just going to stop this, and because I don't have enough time, and I'm just going to switch to AAMC, and that's what I did at the last part, and I just never went below 520. So again, like if you're running out of time, definitely prioritize AAMC. So in terms of the AAMC materials, I would, what I did was start with the section banks. I did section bank 1, and then section bank 2, And then I started doing QPACs, which are much easier. They're pre-2015 questions. A lot of people online are like, you don't even need to do the QPACs. They're useless. Like all you need to do is section banks. The QPACs are so easy that they don't teach you anything. That is so wrong. Like, especially people on Reddit, like these people are like, QPACs are useless, like the science QPACs. That is so wrong. It is so helpful. It is so helpful. So it's not like, you need to be able to get the correct question, like the easy questions and the hard questions, right? Not just the hard questions, right? Like the questions on the MCAT are not weighted, right? So you need to be able to get as many questions correct as you can, right? So I would, again, just do all the AAMC materials. And yeah, again, just trust your FL averages. Like, see this, 520 plus 521 plus 524 plus 523 divided by 4, that's 522. Like, I know it looks like I like peaked around FL4 and then dropped, but I don't like when you're in that range, like it's not like 1 point here and there means you're like getting dumber or anything. It's just like, it's just luck, like I think, the difference between 522 and 524, it's like, I don't know, it's tough. Like, I mean, like the difference here was, it looks like the difference was mainly due to cars, and that's one question essentially. And then, either psych soc or BB. It's tough. I mean, there's so many 50-50s on the real test, and it's just, again, I would have loved to get a 524, but it's okay. It'll be fine. Even if I got a 528, I wouldn't have gotten into NYU, so there's just no point in complaining. I'm really happy with this score. And, walking out of the test center, I really thought I bombed it, right? So, like, I was just, like, shocked, especially BB. BB, I was like, and I actually thought, like, I might have gotten 130 plus on cars just because I thought I did okay, but just one of the passages was just really difficult on cars, so I kind of just flunked for that one. But yeah, so overall, I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you so much for all the help. Peace.